Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Shalom, Om Swastiastu, Namo Buddhaya, Salam Kebajikan. Your Excellency, Mr. Yuswari Djemat, the Lecturer of English for International Relations, and distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, it is a great honor for me to share with you about the idea that might be a bit old, but I think it is relevant to be continued to discuss in the modern day. But first, I would like to start this speech with a quote from Nelson Mandela. He said, "To deny people their human rights is to challenge their very humanity." I'm Hallah Halimatusya'diyah, and I am going to tell you about human rights in Indonesia, whether it is about the enforcement of human rights that has not been fully realized, or even the continuing injustice. This speech will focus on Kamisan, or Thursday protest. It is an action performed every Thursday in front of a state palace committed by a victim of human rights violations in Indonesia. Have you ever wondered, what if we will live in a world where peace is sustained? No more crime, no more oppression, injustice, and all mankind will live in peace. It just might happen. However, it does take a while. In Indonesia, the struggle to uphold human rights is far from successful. The real example is Kamisan, or the Thursday protest, started 15 years ago demanding justice from the government, yet this action has not paid off nicely. Since January 18, 2007, victims and families of victims of human rights violations have been carrying on clothing and dark attributes. They claim responsibility for the country's settlement of heavy human rights in Indonesia, such as the Semanggi tragedy, Trisakti, Tanjung Priok, May 1998, Talang Sari, and 65 tragedy. The Kamisan participant met with President Joko Widodo on May 31, 2018, which is the very first meet since 11 years of actions. At the meeting, participants demand that Jokowi acknowledge already assessing human rights violation, and the result? Nothing. They don't get the justice they want, and this is so heartbreaking. Whatever the government has to do with the completion of these severe human rights violations in the past, the Kamisan participants remain loyal there, holding out on the same day, at the same point, with the same attributes. It was in that day, at place, that anyone in the state who had a hurt could meet them. Seeing the struggles of the participants, I would like to convey this to the audience. Ladies and gentlemen, never despair in upholding justice. No matter how small the injustice, we must fight for it to the end. Otherwise, we might not be able to experience the peaceful life we dream of. This is the end of my speech today. I hope what I am delivering today can make us care about human rights in Indonesia, because in order to create a peaceful world, one way is to fulfill human rights. Since I'm starting this speech with a quote, then I am going to end it in the same way. Here is a quote by Elie Wiesel. He says, "There may be a time when we are powerless to prevent injustice, but there must never be a time when we fail to protest." I'm Hallah Halimatusya'diyah. Thank you very much for your attention today. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Om Santi 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 Om. Namo Buddhaya.